Stop comparing your chapter 3 to someone else's chapter 20. Stop scrolling through highlight reels thinking you've wasted your life. Stop believing the lie that you're behind. You're not behind. You're not too late. You're not running out of time. You're just doing this completely wrong. And today, I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. Because once you understand what's actually holding you back, everything changes. If you've been feeling like everyone else figured it out except you, this video is going to shift your entire perspective. Stay with me. Let's fix this. Here's what you think being behind means. You're 25 and haven't figured out your career. You're 30 and still don't have your life together. You're 35 and watching people younger than you accomplish more. So you panic. You think you need to catch up. You need to move faster, work harder, do more. Wrong approach. Completely wrong. The reason you feel behind isn't because you're moving too slow. It's because you're moving in the wrong direction. Let me explain. Right now, you're probably doing what everyone else is doing. You're following the template. Go to school, get a job, climb the ladder, check the boxes, hit the milestones everyone says you should hit. And when you look around and see people further along that path, you feel behind. But here's what you're missing. You're on the wrong path entirely. That anxiety you feel? That's not fear of being behind. That's your soul screaming that you're on someone else's journey. You're trying to win a game you were never meant to play. Think about it. Why do you feel behind? Because society gave you a timeline. Graduate by 22, career by 25, married by 30, house by 35, kids before 40. And if you're not hitting those markers, you're failing. But who decided that? Who made that timeline? And more importantly, why are you following it? The people who actually win at life, the ones who build something meaningful, they threw out the timeline. They stopped comparing. They stopped racing. They found their own path and obsessed over it. And here's the paradox. Once you stop trying to catch up, you start moving faster than everyone else. Because you're not wasting energy on things that don't matter to you. You're not climbing a ladder leaning against the wrong wall. Let me tell you what's actually happening. You're playing comparison games on social media. You're seeing someone's promotion, someone's engagement, someone's success, and you're thinking, I should be there by now. But you're seeing their highlight. You're not seeing the 10 years of work, the failures, the sacrifices, the advantages they had that you don't. You're comparing your behind the scenes to their highlight reel, and then you're calling yourself behind. That's insane. Here's what you need to understand. Progress isn't linear. It's not a race where everyone starts at the same line and the fastest person wins. Everyone's starting from different places. Everyone's running toward different finish lines. Everyone's on a different timeline. Someone started with money. Someone started with connections. Someone started at 15. Someone started at 45. Comparing your journey to theirs is like comparing a marathon runner to a swimmer and asking who's faster. Different sports, different metrics, meaningless comparison. But you keep doing it, and it's destroying you. So let's talk about what you're doing wrong. Mistake number 1. You're focused on speed instead of direction. You're asking, how can I get there faster? Instead of, am I even going to the right place? You're so busy trying to accelerate that you never stop to ask if you're headed somewhere you actually want to go. I see this all the time. People grinding in careers they hate because that's what they're supposed to do. People chasing money they don't need to impress people they don't like. They're moving fast, but they're miserable because speed without direction is just chaos. The people who actually build lives they love, they slow down first. They figure out where they actually want to go. Then they move with intention, and ironically, they end up further ahead because they're not wasting years going the wrong direction. Mistake number 2. You're trying to do everything at once. You feel behind, so you panic. And when you panic, you try to fix everything simultaneously. You're going to get in shape, learn a skill, start a business, build a network, read more, wake up early, eat healthy, save money, and completely transform your life. Starting Monday, by Wednesday, you've done none of it, and now you feel even more behind. Listen to me. You can't build Rome in a day. And trying to is why you keep failing. The people who actually transform their lives, they pick one thing, just one, and they obsess over it until it's automatic. Then they add the next thing. You're trying to change everything because you feel pressure. They're changing one thing because they understand compound growth, and over time, Their one thing beats your everything. Mistake number 3, you're waiting for permission. You feel behind, so you think you need to catch up to some standard before you can start. I'll start the business when I have more experience. I'll apply for that role when I'm more qualified. I'll create content when I'm good enough. You're waiting for permission that's never coming. Meanwhile, the people you think are ahead, they started before they were ready. They failed publicly. They looked stupid. They did it anyway. They gave themselves permission, and you're still waiting for someone else to give it to you. Nobody's coming. There's no authority figure who's going to tap you on the shoulder and say, "You're ready now." You just start. Messy, imperfect, unqualified. That's how everyone starts. Mistake number 4, you're chasing outcomes instead of building systems. You want the body, the career, the relationship, the success. So you set a goal. You try really hard for 2 weeks. You don't see results. You quit. Then you feel even more behind. You're focused on the destination. The people actually getting there, they're focused on the daily system. They don't care about losing 20 pounds. They care about becoming the type of person who doesn't miss workouts. They don't care about making $1 million. They care about becoming someone who creates value every single day. They built an identity. You're chasing an outcome. And identity always wins. Because when you're outcome-focused, every setback feels like failure. But when you're identity-focused, every action is success because it's a vote for who you're becoming. You worked out today? You're an athlete. Doesn't matter what the scale says. You created something today? You're a creator. Doesn't matter if anyone saw it. You're collecting votes for the new identity, and eventually, the outcomes become inevitable. Mistake number 5. You're doing it alone. You're trying to figure everything out by yourself. You're too proud to ask for help, too embarrassed to admit you're struggling. So you're reinventing the wheel, making mistakes that someone else could have warned you about, taking years to learn lessons someone could have taught you in an afternoon. The people who actually get ahead, they find mentors. They join communities. They ask questions. They understand that speed comes from leverage. And the biggest leverage is learning from people who've already done it. You're trying to earn your struggle. They're trying to avoid unnecessary struggle. And they're moving 10 times faster because of it. All right, so what do you actually do? First, stop comparing. Completely. Delete the apps if you have to. Every minute you spend comparing is a minute you're not building. And building is the only thing that matters. Second, define your own success. Not what your parents want, not what society expects. What do you actually want? And be honest, because if you're chasing someone else's definition of success, you'll hate it when you get there. Write it down. Success for me looks like fill in the blank, make it specific. That's your compass. Everything else is noise. Third, pick one thing to master. What's the skill, habit, or area that, if you dominated it, would change everything? For most people, it's health. Because when your body works, your mind works. When your mind works, everything else gets easier. For others, it's a skill, the thing that will open doors. For some, it's relationships. Building a network that pulls you forward. Pick one, just one. Master it. Then move to the next. Fourth, start before you're ready. You're waiting for the perfect moment. It doesn't exist. You're waiting to know enough. You never will. You're waiting to feel confident. Confidence comes from action, not before it. Start now. Badly, publicly, imperfectly. The people ahead of you aren't smarter. They just started earlier, often while they were unqualified. Fifth, build your system, not your motivation. Stop relying on how you feel. Design your environment so the right choice is the automatic choice. Want to work out? Put your gym clothes next to your bed. Prime the environment. Want to read? Remove the TV from your bedroom. Add friction to the bad habit. Want to create? Schedule the time. Protect it like a meeting. Make showing up easier than not showing up. Sixth, find your people. You need to be around people who are where you want to be, not to compare, to learn. Join the communities, pay for the course, hire the coach, whatever it takes to get in the room. Your network determines your net worth. And right now, you're probably surrounded by people who are exactly where you are. That's not going to pull you forward. Seventh, measure progress differently. Stop measuring yourself against other people. Start measuring yourself against who you were yesterday. Did you show up today? Did you do the thing you said you'd do? Did you keep one promise to yourself? That's progress. That's winning. The scoreboard is you versus you. Nobody else matters. Here's what I need you to understand. You're not behind. You're exactly where you're supposed to be based on the actions you've taken. If you don't like where you are, you don't need to panic. You need to change direction. Different actions create different results. It's that simple. The person you want to be? They're not some distant fantasy. They're a series of daily decisions away. Wake up early. That's a decision. Work out. That's a decision. Create instead of consume. That's a decision. Keep your word to yourself. That's a decision. Make those decisions daily, and in 6 months, you're unrecognizable. In a year, you're in a completely different life. But you have to stop comparing and start building. You have to stop racing and start running your own race. You have to stop trying to catch up and start showing up, because here's the truth that nobody tells you. Most people who look ahead of you, they're just as lost as you are. They're just better at hiding it. They're on someone else's path too, checking boxes that don't matter, chasing validation that doesn't fulfill. The only difference is they started earlier on the wrong path. You have the opportunity to start on the right path. Today, your path, your timeline, your definition of success. And when you do that, when you stop playing someone else's game and start playing yours, the feeling of being behind disappears, because there's no behind or ahead on a path only you are walking. There's only forward, and you decide what forward means. So stop scrolling, stop comparing, stop panicking, start building. One decision at a time, one day at a time. Your path is waiting, and the best time to start was yesterday. The second best time is right now. See you in the next one.